Will's romantic life at the end of Will Trent Season 3 might seem lackluster, but is set up perfectly for a new romantic interest from the books. The Will Trent Season 3 cast has had a pretty rough go of things. Ormwood has brain cancer, Angie somehow managed to keep a baby while getting kicked repeatedly in the stomach right after her mother died, and Will still isn't super thrilled about the fact that he shot a child to death. But, when these issues wrap up in Will Trent Season 4, a new character may enter. Following the viral outbreak in the hospital during the Will Trent Season 3 finale, there should be plenty of locals who want answers about what happened to them and their loved ones. The recent occurrence of medical disasters justifies bringing in a new character with medical experience, presuming the GBI wants outside opinions on how to prevent subsequent attacks. That alone could justify one particular book character, but there's another plot detail from the Season 3 finale that may justify their introduction as well. Angie and Will likely won't get back together after Will Trent Season 3. She's been efficiently anchored to somebody else. One of the biggest unanswered questions of Will Trent Season 3 is whether Gina Rodriguez will return as Marion after vanishing midway through the season. She lives in the TV world, in which her professional relationship with the GBI ended the moment she stopped dating one of them. But while Marion's exit would have otherwise felt like it was making room for Will and Angie to get back together, Will is unlikely to date Angie now that she's carrying the child of a man she appears to truly love. Getting back with Will wouldn't make sense at this point. It's also debatable whether their will-they-won't-they relationship could have lasted much longer, even without the introduction of Angie's newer love interest. Fans of the original Karen Slaughter novels already know that Will and Angie eventually break things off for good in the books on which the show is based. The differences between Will Trent and the books are stark enough that this might not have been an initial concern. It became clear over time that the actors have more on-screen chemistry as friends than lovers, which paves the way for a previously unseen book character to appear. Will Trent had a bigger romantic interest in the original books. His relationship with Angie ends permanently. Angie and Seth in the Will Trent Season 3 finale, 2. After Will and Angie part ways in the books, Slaughter introduces the Will Trent book series character, Sarah Linton. Originating from another series of Slaughter books that canonically ends about a year before the Will Trent series begins, the books establish Sarah as a woman who wins up with Will after overcoming the death of her husband in the series from which she originated. After Will leaves Angie, Sarah becomes his primary love interest for the remainder of the book series. Those who only watch the show would likely never guess, but book fans were thrilled when Will stepped away from Angie for good. From her first appearance in Slaughter's triptych, Angie comes across as rather dismissive. As we get to know her character, the books reveal that Angie is frequently less dismissive than outright rude to her colleagues, and her relationship with Will doesn't stop him from winding up on the receiving end. She's much better in the show, but many Will Trent fans who read the books are still eager to see her replacement introduced. How Will Trent Season 4 could introduce Sarah Linton? There may be behind-the-scenes issues with bringing her in. Angie, Will and Betty in Will Trent Season 3 finale. Custom image by Milica Georgievic. With how much the series changes from the books, it's hard to imagine how Sarah would fit in with a lot of Will Trent's main characters. However, her introduction in the books does make it clear that Will Trent Season 4 could easily introduce Sarah without any alterations to the main plot. They meet in the book after Sarah's husband is blown to bits by an explosive mailbox. However, with Sarah working as a medical expert, Season 3's viral threat provides another route to introduce the character. Nico narrowly survived the viral attack, but Will intends to make sure they have follow-up appointments. Sarah could have lost her husband recently or never had a husband at all, but it makes sense for Will Trent to introduce Sarah as one of the doctors dealing with the aftermath of the attack on the hospital. Her introduction may also hinge on whether ABC has rights to Slaughter's Grant County books. Either way, it's time that Will got to meet the love interest he truly deserves.